Hey everybody, we're here at Neptune Beach in Jacksonville, Florida, and we figured we'd video some question and answers, questions that people have been asking us about the trail.
So before we get started, I'll just kind of tell you how we separated things. We took the questions that we were asked and we separated them into just like different categories. So we have our gear, hygiene questions, questions related to food and water, our general plans, and then anything else that was random trail questions that didn't fit into one of those categories got put in its own separate thing. So we're gonna try and figure out how to do the time thing where you can click and it'll take you where you want to go in the description. We don't know if we can do that yet, so if it's not there when you watch this video, we'll at least handwrite it out so you know where to slide the little fast forward thing to, so that you can jump to whatever part of the video you want to watch.
Alright, the first question, what about our house/cars? So we're trying to get rid of some of our cars. Over the years we've accumulated too many cars, so we're trying to sell 2 cars and keep our newest car. Our parents are gonna keep that at their house and hold it hostage until we come back. And our house, so we moved out of our house into an apartment. It's on the 3rd floor, so we're getting that exercise, and that was mostly just to downsize and save some money as well.
So our next question, a lot of people wanted to know about our dogs and what are we going to do with our dogs while we're on the trail. Are they coming with us, or what's the deal? And unfortunately, we have decided not to take our dogs with us. For those of you that don't know, we have 2 dogs. One of them will be about 9.5 by the time we start the trail, and the other one is 4. So the one is too old, and the other one, we just didn't feel right about separating them. So we are also leaving those with our parents, and our parents are gonna do half and half temporary custody on the dogs so that we can go and do this once in a lifetime opportunity.
Thanks, Mom and Dad.
Thanks.
How long will we hike for? So the average time takes between 4 to 6 months. We're shooting for right in the middle of the road there, around 5 months. We don't really have a time limit, so just however long it takes us to finish the trail. And that leads me into the next question. So will we be just taking leave from our jobs, or are we quitting? So we're both planning on quitting our jobs. Jolene's already started substitute teaching, so she's not in a contract. And I'm planning on quitting my job so that there's nothing holding us back. I don't have to be back at a certain time or anything like that. And that'll give us the amount of time we need to hike the trail.
All right, and those questions kind of tie into this question, which a lot of people want to know if we're planning on coming back to Georgia, or more specifically where we live in Savannah. And the answer to that is no, with a period at the end. We love you, Savannah, as in the people here, but we're at the beach today, and that's pretty much the only thing to hike on. So we spend a lot of our weekends and free time traveling, and it's just spending a lot more money than we really need to spend when we could move somewhere that we don't have to spend all that money just to travel on the weekends, find somewhere to stay, or find somewhere to camp, and then pay to camp and pay to travel. And then what do we do with our dogs if the trail doesn't allow dogs? And so we're hoping to end up somewhere that's a little more in our lifestyle. And that actually brings up another question too, which isn't written down, but so a lot of people wanted to know, this one's not written down, but a lot of people have asked us, like, when we tell them no, we're not coming back to Savannah, they say, well, what are you doing with your stuff, or where are you gonna go? And the answer to that is kind of like a 2-part. So as Thomas mentioned, we're downsizing a lot. We're trying to get rid of our cars, and we've gotten rid of a lot of stuff we own. by the time we leave, whatever we have left, we're throwing in storage, and it's gonna sit there till we're done, and we'll come back for it eventually and take it with us wherever we end up, because we honestly have no idea where we're going. We basically ended up in Savannah because we threw a dart at the map, so we might be doing that again and just kind of go wherever the arrow takes us, I guess. I don't know. So next we're going to talk about our gear, or the section with questions relating to our gear. We didn't have many questions that about our gear, because the number one question was, what do we take with us? What do we pack? And yeah.
Pretty much we just pack everything we need. So your general stuff, a tent, sleeping bag, food, water, that kind of stuff. There's obviously a lot more small things that go into that, but look for a gear video. Some people also want to know what we'll wear while we're hiking, or more specifically, will we be wearing the same thing? So typically we're packing one outfit for sleeping and hanging out around camp, and then one outfit for hiking. So one stinky and one clean outfit.
Yep. And there's a winter set and a summer set. So in the winter set, obviously we'll have the warmer clothes that we'll sleep in, and warm but not too warm of clothes that we'll hike in. And then in the summer we'll have our we're dying of heat clothes, and then we're dying of heat in our sleep clothes. So yeah, so 2 sets of clothes, and it doesn't matter what time of year.
We only had one question so far as hygiene on the trail, and it was, where do you go to the bathroom?
And that was a big topic, a big discussion when it got asked to us. So we thought we would throw this one in there for anybody that is also wondering. You go to the bathroom anywhere that's not where you're gonna walk for days.
Along the trail there are a lot of different privies, usually next to the shelters. But if you gotta go, you gotta go. So you follow the leave no trace principles linked in the description, and that's where you go to the bathroom.
That's right.
Some people wanted to know about our food and our water. The first question was, what do you do for food? So there's a couple different options for food. Most people just go into town. There's a town roughly every 3 days on the Appalachian Trail. So you go in, you buy what you need to take for the next 3 days, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and any snacks, of course. And then you eat that along the trail. You just stop, make camp, make dinner. People send themselves food along the trail, so they dehydrate all their meals along the way, so you can just add water and make a full meal out of it. But we're going to be stopping in the towns and not planning on sending ourselves stuff. There's just a little more freedom that way.
Yep, what he said. All right, so the next question is a two-parter, but it kind of already got answered. So it says, are you filtering water at all? And what about dehydrating meals? So he's already talked about the dehydrating meals. We're planning on going into town to resupply every 3 to 5 days, or, you know, as needed, as we can fit it in with what our plans are. And filtering water, yes. I don't drink any water. It's not filtered, even from my house sink. So I always filter water.
The last section we're going to cover is just kind of general trail questions.
The miscellaneous.
Yeah. Miscellaneous items.
So we had some really good questions in this category. We were asked how many people are on the trail at any given time, and we can't really quantify that because you have people that are going to be through hiking, people that are going to be doing section hikes, whether they're long section hikes or short section hikes. You're going to have people out there that are day hiking, and you might even have a few people that are out there just living. So we can't really quantify that. I'm sure there might be like a guess somewhere online, but we don't specifically know that. A lot of people.
There's roughly 3,000 people that are through hiking, and then you've got 2,000 miles worth of section hikers. It's hard to say. Some of our family was asking if they could send us goodies or care packages along the way. that we're definitely open to that. We don't need one all the time from everybody, of course, because we don't have a whole lot of room in our backpacks, especially with Jolene's winter setup.
You pack your fears, and I'm afraid of being cold.
But I'm sure there will be times along the way where we need things sent out. We've got Jolene's mom is kind of going to be our go-to person, I think, for that. So she's got some extra stuff that we might need, and of course, you can always email us. Email is in the description, so you can always email us and we can get back to you on whether we need anything or if we missed a box or need a box or anything like that.
But also know that this isn't anything that we're expecting or that we're asking of people. We have just had people ask us if that's something that they can do. And if you're interested, just get with us first before you try and send something, because there are specific rules and ways that you have to label the package in order for it to be accepted and be able to be held and received by us when we get wherever you've sent it to. So if that's something you want to do, which again, we're not expecting or asking anybody to do, but if it is something that you wanted to do, just make sure you reach out to us first so we can get you all the information. All right, so the next thing people wanted to know is what kind of temperatures are we expecting? So we are starting in February, so we're fully aware that we are going to freeze our butts off. Like, that's just part of the experience that we're going for, and we plan on freezing, and so, you know, beginning we're gonna freeze, and at night we're really gonna freeze, and somebody might need to check on us in the morning, but by summer, we're expecting it to warm up. I can't really give you like degrees, people. I'm not a weatherman, but I can tell you that we're gonna be cold in the winter and we'll probably be sweating our butts off in the summer.
You would be a weatherwoman. The next one was, are you literally spending every night out on the trail backpacking, or will you go into towns? So we kind of set up our hike like we talked about earlier. There's no real time limit, so if we feel like we want to go into a town for a day or 2 days or 3 days, then we have the flexibility to do that. We are planning on stopping along the way, obviously for resupply and also just to see some of the towns along the trail. We've heard some good things about several places, so we want to see those while we're out here and while we have the time to do it.
And we've definitely had some of these places on our bucket list for a really long time, and we want to make sure that we hit them and we go see the things that we want to see, like Washington, D.C., while we're out there, because these are things we've kind of been holding out on because we knew at some point we would be taking this giant adventure and coming close enough to it that we can kind of just throw everything together in one. All right, so we want to give a giant shout out to all the people that are so sad thinking that we're going to forget about them. They have asked us, more specifically, Liza wants to know if she can send me pictures all of the time so that I don't forget who she is. And the answer to that is no, with a period. Because one, I might not have service, and two, I want to see your cute little baby. And I guess if you're in those, okay, but, you know, I'm here for the cuteness of the baby.
The next question is, do you guys have stops where you're resupplying, and where are they? So we don't have any specific stops. Obviously we're going to resupply, but there's no real set point to where we're planning on going as of now.
Yeah, we basically just plan on waking up every day and doing whatever we feel like that day, and yeah, and hiking obviously, and sometimes we might not feel like hiking, so yeah, surprise. So yeah, we just don't really have any set plans. Like we've mentioned a lot of times before, we've been planning for so long and trying to get ourselves ready for this for so long that we want to take full advantage of this opportunity and this time off, that we don't want to pressure ourselves into any kind of time limit or time constraint, having to rush to get to Mount Katahdin or having to rush to get to a certain town for this or for that. And so we're just kind of doing what we want when we want within the rules of through hiking, I guess.
Next, we were asked where will we start and end the trail. So we're going to go northbound, or Nobo, and that starts down in Maine, Springer Mountain. I think
that
it
starts down in
Georgia,
Maine, it's pretty rough.
down in Maine, and then goes up to Canada. Alright. Next we were asked where we're going to start the trail and where will it end, where will we finish. So we're going to start down in Georgia here. We're going northbound, so Nobo, up to Maine, and we'll end at Mount Katahdin, Maine, in Baxter State Park.
And the last question, and the most important question on the list, is a dear friend of ours wanting to know if we will learn how to paint with all of the colors of the wind. And the answer is we are open to anything that the nature wants to teach us. So if that's an option, by all means, we're gonna go for it.
Alright, thanks for watching everybody, and if you had any other questions that you didn't see us answer, then go ahead and comment below or send us an email, and we'll have to put out another video either on the trail or before we go, depending on, I guess, the questions that we get.
So if you like what you see and you're interested in following along, feel free to give us a like, click the subscribe button, comment, or the bell down below.
Perfect.
Thanks for watching.
Oh, I can nap. Oh man. Oh.
Would you like a sleep?
Yeah, it's like
I found like a nice little foothold.
I've never felt it this asleep before.